Good morning, everybody. It is Monday morning. Bit of clouds in the air. Beautiful day though. Fall is definitely in the air. Lots of fall colors in the trees. Not so here much behind me, but the maple bush is getting more and more color all the time. Absolutely beautiful. I've been laying low, not taking a whole lot of videos. Just spending some quality time with family before we head overseas and maybe not see them for a long time again. A little project I might be working on here this week is this pickup truck sitting here. The cab and everything is in great shape. Inside's in great shape. There's only 180,000 kilometers on it. Box is pretty rough, but it appears like it might need a head gasket. So we'll take a look at that today. So our oldest son and his truck just broke. So we're going to see what it's going to take to get this guy going. If we can get this running and clean it up for him, it might be something that'll last him for a few years. And if we can't get it running, at least it'll be a fun little project for today. I know it's going to need a boost because the battery's dead and it hasn't run for 3 years. So we'll see what we get into here. But it would be nice if we can get it going for him and give him a reliable vehicle to drive again until he saves up for something more substantial. Loads of room in these guys. Lots of room to work. I think that's just from under oiling. Either that or there was a brake booster leak. This is your brake booster stuff here. I think it's under oiled actually. It's sticky all over here as well. So I'm gonna stick a booster on here and check the levels of fluids and stuff first. Hasn't run in a long time, like I said. That looks pretty empty. I'll find some water and stick it in there a minute. And the engine oil, there's lots of oil in there, so that's good. So I tried putting my booster pack on it. I think the battery's totally done. It didn't want to do anything, so I took the battery out of the motor home, stuck it in here, and my booster pack's also not working, so hooked it up here. It's another pickup truck. See if we can get it going. It turns over, but it doesn't want to fire just yet. Not enough juice to get it going. Oh, that's what I was going to do right now. This one clamp is busted. Although maybe it's not making good enough contact, so trust the old vice grips do the trick. I got them clamped around there. That makes for an interesting story too. Involves this wedding ring. Right after we were first married, and new to the whole wedding ring thing, my tractor at that time had 2 busted battery terminals, and I had a vice grip on each one. And sometimes you had to wiggle them a bit to make contact. So when wiggling them, I ended up getting my ring stuck between the 2 vice grips on the ends. And of course that creates current going between the positive and the negative. My wedding ring connected it and ended up melting on either side and burnt. It glowed red hot. It was a very painful experience. And so for the next X amount of weeks, I had my wedding ring on my pointer finger instead because I could not get it on there. Obviously it was blistered all the way around. It hurt. Nothing yet. Tried priming it a few times. So I was on the phone while I got it running. I guess I should have probably waited, but it runs. Sounds pretty good. A lot of smoke come out when I first fired it up. It hasn't run in like 3 years, of course. Still smoking a bit. Partly, the reason he knows its head gasket blown is all the gray smoke that was coming out. Typical if the water stuff is getting in to your pistons, and they'll be blowing out. But the engine sounds lovely. Sounds very, very good. And I don't even think there's an exhaust leak. I don't hear one. So next step is we're going to pump the tires full, and then I'll take her for a little spin and see what it feels like. Right, she's running. It stopped running very good. I realized it was out of fuel. So we went and got some fuel, and we are driving now. It actually drives really nice. I'm gonna take her for a little spin up the road here. It's peppy. think it needs some plugs and wires or something. Otherwise, it seems to have a lot of snot to it. Yeah, which I like. Drives pretty good. Going, what are we at here? 70 kilometers an hour. It's got a bit of a shake. See my thumb twitching there? So that's probably just in the tires. Keep in mind, this thing has not moved for 3 years. It's just been sitting there. All 4 tires were pretty well flat, so we pumped them up. It drives really nice. Brakes are a bit soft. They are. I'm glad it has some. That would be a bad thing to find out when you're driving down the road. Very nice. Always loved these trucks. I did. That's already running better on the return trip. Got the 90 clicks in no time. Now, whether or not my son will like it or not, I don't know yet. I seem to think they need newer vehicles sometimes, but I would definitely take it. And the next 2 boys are like, it's a great truck. So we'll see what it's going to take to do a head gasket. And then this box is in pretty rough shape, so it'd be nice to figure that out as well. But it drives good, feels good. So what we're going to do, what size is that? Just a minute. He's following me around on this way. Hello, another project on the go. Well, first of all, back to the truck. So I looked into it a little bit more. It needs this work, which isn't a big deal. He actually has the panel for it in here, and we could have the truck for nothing. So it would be a matter of tires. It needs all new tires around, and we got to do some body work on this. The engine, though, needs a head gasket. I priced that out at the shop here locally, and it would cost me about $2,400 taxes in to get the head gasket and everything all done. That's assuming that the heads don't have to get shipped out to get redone. So you get $2,400 there, and then you get tires and all that other jazz are going to be $3,000 pretty quick. And if there's anything else that comes up, you know, it's going to be more money. You go from a cheap truck to a little bit of money pretty quick. And it's still an older truck. So I did find another one. It was a 2010. This is a 1988. I found a 2010 for only $5,000 that needs, sounds like very little. It was an old guy that drove it. So I don't know, I'm kind of tossing up whether it's worth doing or not. The paint's still pretty bad. You get a bunch of body work to do. That other truck doesn't need any of that. So I think for now we're going to put that on the back burner and leave it. It was fun getting it running today, and I took it for a spin down the road, so it's kind of neat. Another project we're working on is our motorhome awning. So we were talking about taping it originally. You can see here it's cracked all the way along. It's gotten a lot worse while we've been traveling. And there's a hole in it right there. That was there, and then a little bit of this, but now as we've been opening and closing it and traveling it, it's ripped a lot more. Ordered a new one on Amazon. Actually, I ordered it 2 days ago, and it showed up here today already, so I was pretty surprised with that. It's from this company here, onlux.com. Basically, you get an awning, all the stuff for it, a little extra hardware, a couple of hooks you can hang, you know, if you want to hang some plants or something off. You see that sometimes people do that on the awning. So fairly straightforward, but I've actually never put one of these on. So I looked at some other videos. This is not going to be a how-to video per se. we're going to stick it on here, and if you learn something from it, great. If not, you know, yeah, whatever. There's lots of videos out there that'll show you how to do it that I just watched as well. Basically on this side, we put this wire through to keep it from spinning. These are spring loaded. So put a wire there through it to keep it from spinning. The opposite end is actually locked in place. Over here it's got this little arm on it which locks it. Okay, so now we're able to disconnect it. So we're going to take that bolt out of the top of here is the next step. Pull it off the top on both sides. Take that bar off. My arm back. Take this bar off and bring it down. Slowly unroll it. But not let the spring unroll. The spring that's in there. We don't want it to unroll. I want to keep that tension on. We'll bring it down and then we can slide it out. So if you see up here, there's a track where the awning sits in. And it scoots out the side here. You have to slide it all the way down and you'll see there it ends and it comes right out. And on this guy as well, on the tube itself is also a track. So here's one, and then there's two spots where it's stuck on the tube. So this side here, I gotta take these rivets, will have to come out. So after we get it off, we'll show you that. We'll take these rivets off, we'll gently pull this guy out of there, and then we can slide this awning out, put the new one in, and put it all back together.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our faces are done. All the good times just begun. We know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright.
You broke it. Said you broke it.
You broke it? Okay, so now we need to drill. You guys can give me a drill bit. Okay, so that's that part. It's all unfolded now. The next stage is these rivets. And I need to mark the exact placement so I get this thing exactly back on the right way. And I also have to unwind this spring gently and count how many times it unwinds so that I can get it wound back up when I'm done and put it back together. So there's a spring inside here. The other side I've got pinned, so it's not going to change, it's not going to move. If yours wasn't rolling out properly before, you would want to tighten it a little bit extra, and this one a little bit extra, so in that case you'd want to move it. But for now, we're not going to move it. It was rolling up great. It's just our awning was shot. So this one here, I'm going to gently unroll this, probably with the vice grips, and I got to then zip these loose. All right, the next thing we want to make sure we don't mess up is this guy's stuck on two spots. Okay, this bottom piece, zoom out a bit, and the top piece. So I've marked this one as number 1 and the other one is number 2, so make sure they go back in the same spots again. I wrote down it was 10 turns. I unwound this guy, it was 10 times, just wrote that on here, and I've marked the placement, so this is exactly where this guy needs to go back on again so we don't mess that up. Time you do anything, if you take it apart and you put it back exactly how you took it apart, then the performance should be at least as good as it was prior to you took it apart. If it wasn't performing well, then obviously you can make adjustments, but we should be in luck here, I think. That's too small. Yeah. Okay, now that the rivets are pulled out, we can just pull this guy out of here. You can see the spring, and just carefully lay that to the side. And now you can see here, if you get in close, you can see how this will slide right out of these lines now. Somebody needs to hold the far end, and then I'll be able to pull this right out.
Let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life.
There, come on.
Call
to come off now so that we can slide the awning out of this thing that I was talking about before. Then we'll slip the new one in and we'll reverse the whole process.
Next snag.
You get it?
Look at you, a dirty guy. Are you hard at work?
Alright, let's lay this one out.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Is it wonderful?
Huh?
It's all white.
No, that's color as well. I think that's... Eli,
Yeah.
can you hold this side? Yeah, go back to Mama.
Bring the awning. There you go.
Go that way.
Wonderful. Don't step on it. No, no.
This one had two.
I watch you as you drive. Do you know I'm looking? And I can't help but smile. Do you know how much I love you? You put my favorite song on. I put my feet up and we just sing along. And I can't help but feeling, just loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here together? If I could stop
The new word of the day is wonderful.
I would, 'cause I'm just loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? Forever. 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 I watch you as you sleep. You don't know I'm looking. With you everything's complete. Do you know how much I love you? I put your favorite song on just to wake you up. When I dance around, I can't help but feeling, just loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here together? If I could stop the time, don't you know that I would? 'Cause I'm just loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? Forever. 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 I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here
So far.
forever?
Get it all
I'm
on
loving
back
this
out.
moment. Just loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here together? If I could stop the time, don't you know that I would? 'Cause I'm just
Keep pulling, Ainsley.
This moment, can we stay here forever? Forever. Forever.
Okay, we got her on. It seems to be lined up pretty good. It's a little bit loose yet, but I think some of that might work its way out as we use it more often. Otherwise, what I might end up doing is just tightening both sides, giving a couple of cranks to get it to pull in a little bit tighter. But it's on. We're just tightening it up now. So what you want to do, once you get it up, just try it a couple of times to make sure it's lined up in the right spot. These arms need to go up and hook into the other ones that stay there, these ones here. If they don't line up, you won't get them all the way closed like it is here. So once you have that done, you put the 2 screws in on either side and you should be good to go. The other thing I didn't like about this particular tarp, it came with a really flimsy cord, and that is not going to last very long. I mean, that is like a hair ribbon for the girls. It's very flimsy. The one that was on there was a lot tougher. So price is right. I think it was 400 bucks. We'll see how long it lasts. Shipped right here. I don't think that's terrible price-wise for an awning, but I'm not too certain about the quality of it. The tarp itself's not bad, but I mean, like I said, installation there, I worried about, and also the quality here of this ribbon. So I don't know. We'll see how long it lasts. Hopefully it lasts a long time. Look at those beautiful colors. Isn't that nice? You don't want to see me, you want to see that. Very nice. So anyway, hopefully that benefits you somehow. We will catch you again on another one. God bless you.
Where I belong. Hey, look at me, man, what I become. I've been running east, looking for a sunset, digging deep since '99. What I thought was gone was sitting in my pocket in plain sight all along.